Hello traders, this time we got some really nice challenges for you, so let's look into them. So once again, hello traders, I'm Simon and I work for FTMO, and what we are doing here is that we are funding successful traders that are able to pass our evaluation process. And since our evaluation process is divided into two sections, the challenge and the verification, we are gonna review some of the accounts that have passed. And today is a special day because I have just accounts that have been requested to be reviewed. So I have just one challenge and 4 verifications. So let's just do this. So, I have some strategies of some of these traders. So if I do have strategy of the particular account that I am currently reviewing, you should see the screenshot right now. And if not, here I am, right? So the balance curve here is looking quite alright. There is a small dip in his balance right here. But that's just fine, because in the end he managed his psychology and his risk management was just on point. So in the end he successfully managed to pass this challenge. Now a little bit interesting here is that the max loss and max daily loss is the same here. So that means that there was a drop in his equity just at the beginning of the challenge. Otherwise, there is really nice win ratio. It's above 50%, so that's completely fine. The average risk reward ratio is 1.6, so that's actually pretty good, and combined together, that's actually great. So there was a spike in the end of the challenge. Otherwise, there were some profits and actually losses here and there. But keep in mind that this records his balance, not necessarily equity. And right here, in this section at the trading journal, you can see that he actually made these profits on his last day, but he opened it at multiple times. So that means that he wasn't really dependent on just one movement, and also he made it on multiple instruments. So he wasn't necessarily gambling, he was just trading really nicely. So that is absolutely fine. He isn't also really a day trader, because you can see right here in this column that he is holding the trades overnight and he's paying some of those swaps. Right here you can see that he mostly focused on buying instead of selling, and that's completely fine. The most favorite instruments were Forex. So that's pretty good. He traded a little bit of oil, made a little bit of profit on that, but not really too much. And his favorite volume is 0.5 and 1 lot. So yeah, overall pretty great. I want to see this trader in the verification phase, and let's move now to our verifications. So if we got the strategy of this trader, you should now see it on screen right now. You can pause the video and read it for yourself. And this verification is for $100,000 on Admiral Markets. The balance curve is looking quite similar to the previous one. There is some nice trade executed right here, some nice trades. And then there is a small dip, but not too much. And in the end, he just traded more and made some nice profits. In the trading objectives section, there is really nothing that unusual that is worth the commentary. And in the statistics, you can see some really nice win ratio, and combined with this quite nice risk reward ratio, almost 1.3, he just got some really nice results. Now when I look at the daily summary, you can see some nice profits and actually some losses here and there. Now, once again, disclaimer, this is not equity, this is just balance, and just keep in mind that he could have had some open profits at the same time, but we don't know that, of course, from this section or the balance curve. But yeah, of course, these are executed trades, so just keep that in mind. Looking at the trading journal, you can see that he traded just British pound and euro and US dollar. So it's pretty good that he specializes just on these two. That way he really knows the market. So truly that was right. He just focused on these two instruments, made some nice profits on both of them. And when he bought, he made some really nice profits. When he sold, not really. And just so you know, Right here you can see that the profit target, even on $100,000 verification, is just $5,000. And that is of course because on verification accounts you have just 5% profit target. So overall, pretty great. Let's look at another one. Once again, you should now see the strategy on screen, so pause the video if you need to read that. And this verification account is on xm.com for $100,000 too. This balance curve is actually a little worse than the previous ones, but it is still okay because you can see that even if you are struggling during the challenge, in the end you can just get out of that without necessarily having too much trouble. He actually used 11 days to finish the challenge instead of 10, so that's pretty great. He didn't really rush to finish the verification and just get that funded account. So this trader is actually a little more patient, so that's good. Actually, even the profit target is finished very nicely. He made $134 more than he was required to, so that's always nice to see. He made just 23 trades with 40 lots, and that's not too much, but if you are able to pass the challenge using just this many trades, that's good for you. His win ratio is 61% or almost 61%, and combined with 1.34 risk-reward ratio, that's just good. Regarding the daily summary, he had some nice trades in the beginning, but then he lost almost $2,000. Which was not really that good, but otherwise other trades were executed really nicely and he just made profits on the rest of them. This trader traded mostly Forex, as you can see right here. Wasn't necessarily a day trader because he paid those swaps, as you can see in this column, and he traded gold actually, and he lost some money on that. So that's not good. Now looking down here, truly he lost some money on gold, as you can see right here. It was his worst performing instrument actually, so maybe this trader should avoid this one. And probably part of the strategy is to just sell and not really buy, as you can see right here. Alright, so this is it for this one. Let's look at another one. So I'm pretty excited about this one because this is from one of our long time FTMO funded traders, so that's pretty great. Since this is a past verification, this will make a fine addition to his collection of FTMO accounts. And yeah, here we go. So the balance curve is really nothing that interesting all that much. He made some nice profit here, then lost it actually, and then he just went up from there. Now regarding the trading objectives, there is really nothing that unusual. He didn't go really into that huge of a loss, just this much, and like that's completely fine. And I think that I already said this, but if your trading is looking kind of boring, that may be a good indicator that you are doing it right. Now actually he made just 16 trades using 170 lots, and that's a huge volume on the low number of trades. His win ratio is over 90% and his risk-reward ratio is under 1, so that's 0.5. But you know, this can be a little bit misleading since he made just 16 trades. Regarding the daily summary, truly he made some nice profit in the beginning, then he made some loss, which is not really that great, but it is not that much, so that's good. And then he basically just made some profits and made some trades just to get those minimum trading days. And part of the strategy of this trader is to trade mostly indices, and that's what he did. He traded just S&P 500 and actually a little bit of Dow Jones. Well, not necessarily here, but I know that this trader is trading indices. He didn't really specialize on buying or selling, he did both and made a little bit more on selling. And yeah, pretty much just trading those indices. So yeah, this is it for this trader. You know, I'm pretty happy for this FTMO trader since he is trading quite nicely. He is making some nice profits. So he will make even more now. So now we are gonna look at the last one. And this one is a little more interesting than the rest. And that is because of his strategy. So we did make a video about technical indicators, and this trader is using Bollinger Bands, And that's it, no price action, no supply demand mechanics, just Bollinger Bands. And it's pretty cool to see that this trader was able to pass the challenge and now the verification using just this technical indicator. So you see, you always have to find your way to trade. So this trader used 12 of his trading days, so he didn't really rush, and that's great, he is probably patient. Otherwise, there is really nothing that unusual in the trading objectives. He made 51 trades using 50 lots. His win ratio is really nice, but the risk-reward ratio is not really that great. But when the win ratio is so high, it compensates for this somewhat low risk-reward ratio, so that's completely fine. So during the whole period of his verification, he made some really nice profits, and he had just those 2 losing days right here on 6th of April and 13th of April. So that pretty much explains his really high win ratio. And this trader specialized on trading gold. Opening just 1 lot is not really that much, but you know, he went from this price to this price, of course shorting, so he made some really nice profits on that. So it's nice to see that he made profits rather catching those pips instead of using high volume. Now right here you can see that most of his profits were made on gold, so that's also my favorite instrument, so I'm pretty happy about that. And other than that, he traded a bunch of forex pairs. So yeah, I am pretty excited about this trader, and I am looking forward to see his results using Bollinger Bands on his FTMO account. Alright traders, so this is it for today. I hope that you learned something new. Maybe that you are able to use Bollinger Bands to pass the challenge perhaps. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our FTMO channel for more trading content. If you have any feedback or suggestions, you can leave them down in the comments. And of course, if you want me to review your challenge/verification account, you can just email us. And of course, as always, trade safe.